Hi there, my name is Joseph Lopez. I'm the worship director here at Compass Bible Church in Aliso Viejo. I've been leading worship here for about 5 years, and within those 5 years, I've learned a lot about music. Not just music, but music in the church, worship music. And so hopefully today I have some tips that can hopefully encourage you and spur you on as you serve your church. Specifically, I want to talk about keyboards. All right, let's jump right in. So when it comes to worship keyboards, you're probably the keyboard player that's showing up and you have a Roland piano there, you have a Yamaha piano keyboard, and maybe you even have a Nord keyboard piano there. So those are all great things. But when you show up and you play, it's really hard to get the sounds to be just right, to have a good feel and a good sound and to sound like the album, right? So I want to tell you about our approach and what we kind of do to make sure that we have a great sound for worship when we play keys. So what you want first is you want a good piano sound. So when you're playing, you want to make sure that your piano sounds nice and full. So it has a lot of bottom end and clarity. So this is kind of the piano sound that we would use, just a basic sound there. Great. And then you can also, on top of that, layer on some nice reverb. So if you have a way of figuring that out, you hear that where without it, with it, just gives it a little bit of space. So if you can have two reverbs, I would set your first one to this, second one to a longer, more dramatic reverb. So without the long reverb, and then now this is with a long reverb that I recommend. Hear that? A lot of space there. Great. So now I'm leaving the first reverb kind of there, whatever, that's fine. But then the longer reverb, I'm going to turn it down a little bit. You're going to want it to be just around there for fast parts. So this is a song called Center My Life. And you don't want it too washy. But then there's another song called Jesus You Alone that has a lot of space, and you want to put a lot of reverb there. So it sounds like this. So you hear how that sounds really nice. And what you can do with that is even when you play nice and soft, you have a ton of space. So the secret sauce to piano is reverb. You hear all that? Great. Awesome. Next thing is a nice pad. So you can have a nice pad that just... it sounds okay, but you want to make sure that too has reverb. So hopefully you can layer it on there. This is our pad, nice and warm, very basic, not very loud, so that when you're playing piano, it sits right behind what the piano is doing. You can't even really tell it's there unless you're listening for it. Sounds great. And then if you can get another pad on top of that you have separate control of, that has a little bit more energy and a little bit more high end. Hear that? It's coming in. And then it gives you a little bit more energy. So the approach to this isn't necessarily that you're playing parts. It's more that you're thinking of the space. You're more thinking of the environment of the sound. And when you can play to a nice environment, all you're doing is setting a mood with the way that you're playing your pads, right? People are welcoming in, you're getting started, someone's welcoming the song, welcoming the congregation, starting the song, and you've got this nice pad in the back. And it's just playing there. Or someone's praying right now, and it sounds beautiful, right? But you need to have a lot of reverb on these pads so that when I finish playing my pad, it doesn't cut off all of a sudden. It cuts off slowly. Beautiful. Great. The next thing is to be able to have a good mod control. So that's controlling the brightness and aggression of the pads. So hopefully these are your pads and you turn up your mod. That's what it can sound like. Hear that? That's awesome. So when you're doing that, you have a lot of control, making it big and full and bright and loud when it comes to the choruses, just to bring up the energy. So here's an example of how you can do that. So say if I'm playing in the key of A, so we're playing Center My Life once again. Here we go. So I'm going to sustain this chord, bring in the pad, sounds nice, now bring in the piano and play the part. So I have a lot of control, but I'm bringing in the energy when I'm playing. And the parts that I'm playing, I'm not really thinking about what I'm playing as long as it can sound and fit the chords, but then bring a lot of energy and feel to the music that you're playing. Great. Okay, awesome. So those are some just basic tips that I think you can start with to try to bring your approach. Now I want to talk to you about what we do at Compass and how we get these sounds. So we don't get the sounds out of any keyboard. If you've been watching my hands, you're seeing that I'm using this nano controller here. This nano controller is just controlling my laptop. My laptop is the one that has all the sounds inside of it. And that's the thing that's making all the noises and making it sound beautiful. So what we're using is this keyboard right here. Is using USB out and sending to the laptop. This nano controller here is using USB out and sending to the computer. And then inside the computer, we're using the program called MainStage. So you can buy this program for $30, and it's got a ton of sounds on it already. And what I've done here is, as you can see, all right, so you can see on my laptop here, this is MainStage. This is what it looks like as soon as you open it. And this is my template that I've made here. Great. So on this panel here, you'll see faders that look just like the ones in front of me. And when I move my faders, it moves the computer's faders as well. So, and then also you can see down on the bottom on the right here, these are all the sounds that I've set up and programmed. But you don't need to worry about that because I've already labored for you. Great. So here's the piano. And the laptop is the one making the sounds for me. And then I'm going to fade in those pads. You can see them coming up on the laptop as well. And then, so I've set all that up already on the laptop. So you can contact me and I can send this to you. You can download it. You can have all these sounds. You're not going to be breaking any copyrights or anything because I'm giving this to you for free. And you can have all these sounds that sound amazing in worship. And this is just a fraction of what you could do with all the sounds. I could spend 30 minutes probably going through all the nuances of what I've put into this and all the abilities that it has. But that's just a basic start right there. But hope that helps you in your approach to leading worship with keys, worship keys. And I hope to have some great fruit be born out of this, that the church can worship the Lord well as a result of this. So hope it's a blessing, and thank you for watching.